This week we're talking audiophile grade sound with no other that Ground Zero has, and that, of course, they do. But let's get into the mindset of what it takes to build. We're going to tap into Nick's 30-year history and experience in this field and try to extract how you, yes, you, the listener, the enthusiast, might take something away from this show to help you design the next audiophile car stereo system of your dreams. This is CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM, and it starts now. And welcome to the show. We have, of course, our wonderful guest here, Mr. Nick Wingate. Nick, always a pleasure to have you. How are you doing, sir?
Pretty good, sir. Appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Well, you know, the title says audiophile, and we're talking Ground Zero. So, of course, my first choice of guest was going to be yourself.
Sure, whatever.
But you know what? I didn't get you here just to, look pretty. I mean, we are here to talk about some pretty serious stuff. And by serious, I mean passionate stuff, right? Because we have so many opportunities throughout the year, Nick, that we get to talk about technology and different categories, whether it's pro audio or motorcycle audio, whatnot. But today, this one hits home because you and I share a similar passion, and that is getting great sound. We enjoy it. We're not alone. We spend the time to build a system to enjoy the music. It means something to us, whether you're on a long drive from work and you want to just sit on the driveway in your car and listen to it before you go in. Some of us even sneak out after dinner and sit in the car, or maybe you just love listening to it while you're driving because you're stuck in traffic, unfortunately. Regardless of the situation.
Houston. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, imagine. Regardless of the situation, we're talking about the group of people that likely have already experienced several different systems throughout their lifetimes. They're at a certain point where they really want to invest in that one system that's going to make them smile every single time they turn it on. So we're talking about, I hate audiophile as a generic term. I refer to as people who take their sound seriously because they thoroughly enjoy it, right? That's what we're talking about today. And to connect the dots with Ground Zero, I want to talk about some product because let's be honest, there's some pretty big news I definitely want to share. But we're going to get into the mindset of things you need to think about and what makes, Ground Zero kind of unique if you're in that stage where you want to build that next system. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. First thing out of the gate, if you haven't heard already, in fact, we had to hold off this news until the time of this broadcast. Big news coming from ISA. This is the, end all be all association that, provides judging and awards for products of the year throughout all different types of mobile electronics and home electronics. Congratulations, Nick, to you and the Ground Zero team. We're happy to announce today that you are the recipient of the best in-car speaker system for 26-27 with the new reference series redesign from Ground Zero. I want to give you an opportunity to talk about this and how important this recognition really means.
Well, the ISA award has been the standard for quite some time. And, Ground Zero has won their share. But I know that they happen to be really proud of this because of the level of technology that's out there by other manufacturers. And we all know there's great engineering, there's great product, out there. And for them to win this award, going up against what everybody else has out there, it means a lot. It means a lot to them. It validates their engineering. It validates what they're after, what they think is a superior product and what it's going to be able to reproduce in the car. So, it's validation, but also gives them a little bit of a chance to push their chest out and say, we belong here. And, of course, in Europe and Asia, everybody already knows that. It's just getting the word out here that, they kind of know what they're doing in this format of the industry.
Well, let's just be clear. I mean, if you're going to win a category like best in-car speaker system, you're up against some pretty sturdy competition. Like there's a lot of great high-end speaker systems in this category. So for Ground Zero to attain the highest level for this season with their new reference is no task to, tuck under the rug. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Absolutely. So just to be clear, for those of you tuning in, Ground Zero redesigned their new reference system. It's not technically. I can't believe it's not even their highest end. Ultra is the highest end. So this is, I want to say, the more attainable high end, if you will, quote in air quotes, attainable. We're talking about the combination a la carte system. Now it's a three-way system. There's a T26 tweeter, an M80 mid-range, and a K165. They look gorgeous. We have to talk a little bit about some of this technology. Let's talk about the tweeter first. Now, I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, I mean, most of these tweeters that I've seen come out from Ground Zero have mostly been soft dome tweeters. However, this unit changes that. It's actually an inverted metal tweeter. Am I right?
Yep, you're correct.
So
It's
what's
titanium.
So talk like what happened here? How did this happen?
Gentleman that was brought over from another company. His name is Stefan. He wanted to obtain a certain type of sound that he was looking for in a tweeter. And he also was looking for a certain amount of off-axis energy response. Basically, he wanted it to be all axis. He calls it all. They call it all axis. Basically, the tweeter doesn't begin to beam until way beyond 10,000 hertz, which is not unheard of. But in car audio, yeah, that's not easy to obtain. It's not easy to do. And to obtain what he was after, this is the reason why you see an inverted dome tweeter.
And most people, when they hear inverted dome, not only inverted dome, but more so the material being metal, you think of things of harshness and brightness and aggressiveness. But yet that's not what this does, is it?
No, it is not. If it was, I can assure everybody the folks who voted for this for East of the Award, they would be like, nope, not good enough. No, because there are people that know music that vote for this. So no, it's not. It's very smooth. It's very articulate. It's very accurate. It's very revealing. I don't mind telling you. This is not for everybody. I'll be the first person to tell you. This tweeter and the rest of the system, it will reveal how bad the recording is that you're listening to.
I was just going to say, you use the word revealing, and that's a two-way street.
Oh, it is. It most certainly is. And you've got to be careful with it.
So inverted dome, inverted tweeter, metal. What's the material? Is it aluminum?
It's titanium.
Titanium dome tweeter. Okay. Now, when it comes to the M80 mid-range and the K165 woofer, again, something we've never seen come out of Ground Zero, a new cone material. There's a story behind this, and obviously it was good enough to win the award. So why don't you tell us what the story is?
It's a material that Ground Zero licensed from a company named ELAC. It's a high-end home audio manufacturer in Germany. They've been around for a long time.
Award-winning designs.
And in every respect. And they had an opportunity to utilize this technology. And when you listen to it, you'll understand. The diamond faceted cone is the hallmark. And Ben, you've seen them. They look completely different. And the reason they do that is it stiffens the cone up without adding an awful lot of mass to it. As a matter of fact, it adds no mass to it whatsoever. There's always this thing that every speaker is always striving to obtain is, the cone's got to be really stiff. It's got to be lightweight. It's got to be very well damped. Well, this is it. They've achieved it. And the proof is in the award. I mean, again, these folks would not have given the award to them if it wasn't top of the line.
Well, I'm going to add to this. So awards are one thing, and I don't want to take away from the award because the award means a lot. But even more recently, some of the accomplishments that Team Ground Zero from a competition side has had the opportunity to install these new reference speakers in the wild, and you've kind of taken home a little bit of hardware recently, haven't you?
Yeah, there's an event that's held in Austin, Texas every year. It's called Texas Heat Wave. It occurs in July. Imagine why they call it Heat Wave.
Why? Is it hot in Texas in July?
No, nothing like that. Right now, Ben, it is 96 degrees at my house, Fahrenheit.
No, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. With 93% humidity, I think it's what my computer's telling me.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and of course, this is what we live with every year. And we have, and it's a huge car show, truck show. It's one of the largest ones in the country. And the various sound off organizations were there. IASCA, EMA, ICA, they were there. And there was also an invitational money round in which no matter what your classification is, no matter what organization you support, a number of judges were brought together and they all judged the cars and they say yay or nay, and it was a head-to-head competition. It was a random drawing. It could be expert car going against amateur car.
Open class.
And yeah, and we had two systems there that were literally 3 weeks being built. One of them was 2 weeks old. And they all had the reference system in them. And they finished second and third in the money round to a multi-champion, world champion competitor. And it was close. It was still a unanimous decision with his car, but he's got years and thousands of hours tuning that car. Whereas Jim and Amanda, they literally had just put their
literally
cars
showed up,
together.
Slept in the new speakers, and
Yeah, and came. And yeah, and they won. And not only that, but Jim and Amanda, they won their classes respectfully in IASCA and ICA, and Emma, they did really well.
All right. So, needless to say, proof is in the pudding. You won the award.
Yeah,
it's winning. It's winning competitions. There's new technology involved. We talked about the speaker, the mid and the mid bass. I also want to talk about real quick, because the rest of this conversation, Nick, we're going to go deeper, but I have to mention a couple of things here. And the other thing is the amplifiers. The amplifier technology, when it comes to ground zero, is hard to grasp at first for many, many people, myself included. Understanding certain things about the way the lines are built, and we're going to get into that a little bit later in the show. But I want to do a showcase, a little spotlight on this technology for the amplifiers. Regardless of what line, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that from the uranium line and up, there is some special things going on with these amplifiers that I simply do not see from other brands, and I wanted to take a quick 5 minutes to talk about this. They call them SQ amplifiers, right? And they're super old school looking. If you're looking at them for the first time, there's nothing crazy going on from a design aesthetic standpoint. No. But what I do notice are things that I don't see. In particular, adjustable bias. I did not understand what that really was, so I thought this would be a good opportunity, Nick. I want to ask you, why is Ground Zero making these amplifiers a certain way? Why is it important for adjustable bias? And what is the philosophy behind this?
Well, we all know that with the advent of DSP technology, that the ability for anybody to build a fully active 2-way / 3-way, 4-way, however many ways you want to go, we have that ability now, and it's fairly simple to do. And tweeters and mid-ranges, let's face it, that's basically 89-90% of all the information that's going to be found in any musical track selection piece. And many years ago, the topology of an amplifier was basically Class A. Okay. Especially when it came to tubes in the home world. And that means that what Class A means is that the amplifier never turns off. Once you turn the amp on, it doesn't turn off in the output sections. Class AB does. You have a turns on, turns off, turns on, turns off. That's how Class AB works. Class A is constantly on. There's a reason why Class A is very inefficient. Class A it gets really hot. Class AB is not as inefficient, and it doesn't run near as hot. It does sound really good, but when you start thinking about an absolute best, and you go look at what they do in home audio, you'll see tubes, or you'll see big power amps that are 300, 400, 500 watts Class A.
Yeah, the Class A are always big power, but they're also giant amps. Like, they're huge.
And they have to be because of the amount of heat they produce. Because they've got to get the heat off of them. But there's a reason why they do it, because Class A for all of us who have been involved in this for as many years as we have, will tell you, it sounds better. It's more three-dimensional. It gives you a bigger, deeper, wider sound stage. The higher frequencies are smoother and cleaner, especially when you're listening to classical music or you're listening to jazz. What you're after is the three-dimensional sound staging, the depth. You want to hear the pitch of the bow on, the violin
Class A
or
does
the
that.
cello. Yeah, that's what you're after. And it's not easy to get. But when you have a Class A operational amplifier, it is easier to obtain. I'm not saying it's easy to get in any respect, but it is easier to obtain.
But here's
So this,
but there's a problem. I see the problem already, and the problem is we don't have amplifiers this size that fit in the back of a trunk that has
no,
600 watts per channel.
no, we don't.
Okay.
We can build amps that have 150.
Yeah, sure.
We can do that. And that's the reason why when, Gordon designed these amplifiers, they have the ability to give us, maybe 100 watts at Class A on the tweeter, 100 watts of Class A on the mid-range.
Right.
And then we can say, okay, now we know that mid-bass drivers technically, unless we've got tons of power, they don't like Class A. So you can say, okay, so if I biased the amp towards Class A on the tweeters and on the mid-ranges, then I can say, okay, I don't need as much Class A. So I can go back towards Class A B on the mid-bass.
Are you physically selecting the topology of the amplifier just with a switch? Or dial? Is that what this is?
No, it's a potentiometer. All it does is it changes what is known as the bias.
Gotcha.
And it rolls it back towards Class A, B, or gives you more Class A.
So it's a sliding. It's a sliding effect.
Yes, it's a sliding effect. Okay. So instead of us having, like in the home audio world, you remember when you were selling Wilsons? Yeah. You had to have 300-400 watts on the Wilsons. That's all there was to it. Yeah, 600. It would be. Yeah, me too. That's the reason I had Audio Research 600 watt monoblock tubes on, Wilsons, because they had to have it. But we don't have the ability to put those monster amplifiers in a car. So we can take it and say, okay, if I can put 100 watts on the tweeter and I can put 100 watts on the mid-range, and I put 150 or 175 watts on the mid-bass, I'm basically saying I'm getting my 600 watts at Class A almost operation like what you have to do on, Wilson Sasha's or, the Alexandras. So
this is interesting. How unique is this as an option on an amplifier in our industry?
It's not unique. There are some companies out there that do it, but it's not prevalent. You don't see that many people do it because, quite frankly, it adds to the cost of the amplifier, and you have to design the circuit that way.
Mm-hmm. So why was it important for Ground Zero to incorporate it in like uranium and up, or uranium? What is it? Uranium, plutonium.
Yeah, uranium, plutonium reference, and even ultra.
Right.
Well, when you have speakers at the level that they're building them right now, that are this revealing, why would you not? Mm-hmm. It's an option. You don't have to, but it's there. And I looked at the lineup and I was like, this tells me a lot because, when you've got amplification that, let's face it, from uranium and up, and you have speakers uranium and up that are this revealing, it gives you the opportunity to tailor make the sound to the way that you like it. If you listen to classical or jazz, more than likely you're going to turn the bias up. If you listen to heavy metal rock, you listen to rap and hip hop and techno, you probably don't need that much Class A bias.
But the point is, it gives you the option.
And that's it. It gives you the option to tailor make it the way you like for it to sound.
You know what I like about this? This is like full analog, like hands-on. This is not DSP we're talking about here.
No.
We're talking about how to optimize the performance of the amplifier depending on the speaker setup that you're going with and the type of sound that you want at the end of the day.
And the sound you're looking for.
This is a great place to take a pause right here, Nick. After the break, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into this. We want to really get into the mindset and the philosophy that Ground Zero has. We're talking audiophile. So let's break into that and how this brand is different in the way it offers its products for the customer to be able to custom tailor the sound they're looking for. We'll be right back after this break.
Hey, Paul with SiriusXM here. And with 3 easy steps, you can maximize your business. Number 1, make sure you have the current promotional material up. Understand the offer, make sure your team knows it. 2, have a unit on display. Set the presets to different genres so you can recommend and play the music that your customer listens to. And number 3, think about this. Most vehicles you're replacing the head unit with already has a SiriusXM tuner in it. So adding it just requires an antenna adapter, a SiriusXM tuner. It's a 30-second install and you're done. So there it is, guys. 3 easy steps to maximize every sale this season with SiriusXM.
All right, so joining us once again is Nick Wingate from Team Ground Zero. Nick, thank you for kind of walking us through some of the bigger announcements that of late when it comes to Ground Zero Audio. The winning of the ACE Award for the new reference series, of course, and we spent some time trying to understand the unique feature that is auto bias. Not unique, but different feature that not all brands have with their amplifiers. This part of the show, I really want to break out into the things that make Ground Zero, honestly, very unique as a company within our car audio space when it comes to providing different solutions to obtain a specific sound that you're looking for. Let me explain, and I'm gonna pass the baton to you. When I first got into understanding the Ground Zero lineup, I'm gonna be straight up with you, I was confused, like visible confusion in my face. And here's why. Traditional brands market their products usually in a good, better, best scenario, right? So you have your entry level. Oh, you want to step up? You spend a little bit more money and you get a little bit better sound. Oh, you want the best? Well, we have this. So furthermore, once you've established which range that you want to, get in with, the natural kind of reaction or behavior to this is now you want to build out your system from top to bottom within said range. The front stage, the rear stage, the amplifier, the DSP, the sub, all that. And that's how you go about it. Well, when Ground Zero, when I first looked at this, I'm like, oh, so hold on a second. I'm not supposed to go all uranium on everything. Everything works with everything else. I didn't understand it. But now I understand it much more. And I want to have this conversation with you because this changes the way for 2 things. A, as an enthusiast, it's fun because now I can really if I take the time and understand what's going on here, I could really dial in what I want based on the component mix. But from a dealer perspective, they also have to really be good at understanding how to sell this to the customer because it's I'm going to call it non-traditional. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on this.
Well, yeah, I think you're right. And if you take a look at the lineup, it just depends on what you're after. I like to call it, they have a niche. There's niche product within the brand for whatever you're after. For instance, the competition speakers, if you take a look at them, they're all extremely efficient. Most of them have a horn-loaded tweeter or even a horn-loaded mid-range of some kind. And that means that it's going to be extremely loud and it's extremely efficient, and it's also going to be extremely dynamic. Now, is it the last level of fidelity? No. But is it really good? Yes. I mean, that's, the claim to fame that, so many bike guys, they've got it. And, you were talking about heat wave a little while ago. Our power sports guy, Andy, brought 2 bikes to the show. And it was enlightening for so many people because they had never heard bikes sound this good with that level of fidelity, with the level of output that he could obtain. I mean, we even threw it in the judging lanes just for the heck of it.
This is just fortifying the statement that, audiophile is such a generic and really overused term. It's subjective. It's subjective is what I'm trying to say. But what you're trying to say is exactly what I think you're saying, which is Ground Zero has engineered product to obtain the highest level of performance for different styles.
Yeah, it just depends on what you're looking for. Okay. Whether it's you want ultra, okay, fine. That's the best of the best, and you don't care, and you want that, and I get it. If you don't want to spend quite that kind of money and not that kind of level of fidelity, reference is damn close to it now. Absolutely. Okay. And then it just goes down from there. What is your objective? What is the level of fidelity
But
you're after? Do you listen to metal? Do you listen to rap and hip hop? Do you listen to classical music? Do you listen to jazz? There's a lot of different ways to configure the products to obtain your goals.
this is where you're breaking rules, Nick. Because I'll tell you
I
what.
know.
Let's say you're looking at a uranium setup, which is very
Sure.
loved. People love those amplifiers, right?
Absolutely.
The bias, all that stuff. They're clean. They've got great power.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean you have to go with uranium speakers, or for that
No,
matter, a uranium sub.
no,
And
no,
it's
not
weird.
at all.
It's not weird. It's different.
Yeah, excuse me. It is different. My own personal car. I mean, let's face it, I have a reference three-way. And I am using uranium 4-channel amplifiers.
Hold on. Do you have the new reference through? Of course you do. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Let's keep going.
I've had it for a year.
Okay.
Thank you, Jacob. But I have uranium amplifiers driving them, and I have a plutonium 10-inch subwoofer.
See, there you go. That's what I mean.
And
That's
people
not
ask me, well, they asked me, why did you choose this subwoofer? And I went, because it works in a small vented enclosure. We've got it tuned really low. It's tuned down to 25 hertz. It doesn't take a ton of power to get there, but that's me, because that's what I was after. I was after something that would complement the mid-bass drivers in reference. And the closest thing that we had that would do it at the level of fidelity I was after was a plutonium subwoofer. And it works beautifully. Now, if that's not your cup of tea, okay, fine. We've got something for you. I've got a 15, if that's what you want. I've got 15s that will peel paint off of the car. I've got everything in between. It's what your goals are. It's what you're after. And that's where the dealers come into play, because the dealers.
I was just gonna say, you need the deal. Like, how important is it that the dealer understands this philosophy, this layout of product? Because I'm going to connect two dots now. Earlier on the show, we talked about how Ground Zero created the new reference speakers, award-winning, but they also created a new cone. But guess what? Ground Zero has like 7, 8, 9 different cone materials to choose from. In the tweeters, same thing: soft dome, silk dome, metal, inverted.
Horns.
There is no go-to technology or material for anything.
No, it's all purpose built. It depends on, this type of mid-range or mid-bass cone material works better with this type of tweeter material. They're chamber matching everything. And that's the one thing that I really, really like about the company is they voice everything. They understand music. I mean, the guy that is basically, he owns the company, Carl listens to classical music. He listens to violin, and he listens to cello. And my understanding is he voices everything. He listens to everything. And that's where, this as well as I do, Ben. The sum of the parts has to create a cohesive musical experience. And if you don't sum the parts correctly, it's not going to be at the level of fidelity that it could be. This is the reason why, so many people look at reference and they go, oh, well, I want a reference system because of the money. Well, do you really want the reference system? Because if your goal is to play something really loud, really dynamic, really powerful, then this is not the speaker system for you. It may be something in the competition line. It may be a set of nuclears, because that's what they do best. If you're after an all-around really good system that'll play everything well, that's hydrogen. For me, that's hydrogen all day long, or uranium. It depends on what your budget is and what level of fidelity you're after. And this is the reason why you really have to work with your dealers, because they're the ones who understand this better than anybody.
They would have to, because
absolutely.
I mean, I know you guys do a lot of training. There's elite dealers throughout the country. These are the guys that not only understand the product, but understand how it comes together depending on what the customer is looking for. And when you're at this level of going back to the customer that we're speaking to today on today's show, probably someone that's been through a couple of systems already, looking for that better, higher level, bespoke experience. Sit down with the dealer, let them interview you, let them figure out where your past experiences are, where your expectations are. And I believe, this is my humble opinion, Ground Zero is one of those companies that is unique in the sense that they literally have a catalog of product that could tailor exactly what it is that your end game is, along with the budget that you put forward.
Oh, absolutely. It's amazing to me, the level of fidelity that can be obtained at the price points that, everything is at. I don't see how they do it. I'm being honest. I don't see how they do it.
You know what? People ask me as well, Ben, you talk to every brand in the business, right? Yeah, absolutely I do. And every brand has its strengths. Every brand has its legacies. The one thing I will say about Ground Zero is that it's different. I think we highlighted its differences. It also makes me very intrigued and interested. Like, it's almost like the action of building that system, researching the products that would fit together, having those conversations with the builder or the store. I mean, that's almost an experience on its own. Because every other brand that I can think of is basically, okay, select the level and go lateral. There's nothing to talk about. I mean, okay, I'm going to get the speakers done. But with Ground Zero,
you're done.
It's a much more engaging, is it a little bit more work? Yeah, but it's fun work. Like if you're into this and this is what you're saving for, you want to know all the details, don't you? I mean, I do.
I would.
Right?
I mean, that's just me, but I mean, it depends on what I'm after. But I'm going to want to know, okay, so which tweeter are we going to recommend? Which mid-range, which mid-bass, what sub, why are we choosing this? It's like when we were designing Amanda Halter's car that, won what it won at Heatwave. She didn't want to give up her trunk space in any way, shape, or form.
Sure. Those are real world parameters.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, she has a 4-door Nissan Altima. And I was like, I told her husband who built the car, I said, James, you're going to want an infinite baffle 15. You're going to want.
You'll put an IB15 in that thing?
Yep.
Okay.
And works like a charm. Sounds amazing.
It's exactly what she wanted.
And it fits the bill.
And it fits the bill. Exactly.
It fits the bill.
For 5, I don't know how many years we've been doing this now, Nick. We've been doing this a while, especially on CMA here. Every year we come in and we talk about, the highest level. It's super fun. When Ultra came out, that was amazing. It was super cool, super fun. Now with the reference speaker, super fun. I'm really happy we had this conversation because I believe when it comes to this level and you're going to spend this kind of money, and of course, other considerations, make sure you tune into Nick's workshop on how to prepare for your next system build, all the different things you want to think about, installation, components, prepping the environment, all that type of thing. But what I want to say here is this is what it's about. If you're going to spend this kind of money, know that Ground Zero is a company that is deeply committed to, the engineering, obtaining the voicing of the speakers, the amps. And no, it's not that check the box, I want this series kind of brand. No, it's not.
No.
But if you want to have some fun and you want to really build a system that's custom tailored to what you're looking for, connect with an authorized elite dealer. They can get it done for you. And it's a pretty fun experience, I bet.
Oh, it is. It absolutely is.
That's it. Hey, if you like this video, actually before that, if you want more information on Ground Zero, obviously hit up their website, groundzerousa.com. Way too much information there, but go ahead, have fun, get onto there. There's a lot there, a lot going on.
There's a lot.
If you like this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button. CMA Networks, we're always here to give you the latest information, talk, podcast about mobile electronics, and hit that notification bell so you know the next time we have new content for you. Nick, I want to thank you so much. Your experience and your wisdom is so appreciated here, and that we can have these kind of conversations that don't necessarily mean just reading specs off a box. I think they're very meaningful and helpful for everybody. That's it for the CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Lee. Until next time, we connect.